Welcome to Section 420, Talkin Yankees, the podcast. Well, the Yankees have to settle for another Subway Series split. Go one game up, one game down in the Bronx here, so nothing gained, nothing lost. And not really a series to feel good about, but the bigger news at hand is that we finally have a timetable of Judge's return, and it looks like it's going to be this Friday in Camden Yards against the Baltimore Orioles. Just the perfect timing, because that's a team that you're chasing in the AL East. And it's just, kind of ironic that's a week before the trade deadline, because even if the Yankees make no major moves at the trade deadline, just getting them back is almost like making a trade when you can just add someone like Judge to the lineup who, even if at 80%, is this going to be better for the whole lineup and the team versus this what we've been seeing the past few weeks without Judge in the lineup. So we'll get into a lot. Before we do, make sure you subscribe to this podcast. So if you're first time listening, there's got to be a button around to subscribe or follow or like. Mainly the subscribe one. That's probably the important one. And you get notified when new content comes up. Not only get the wrap-up reports after each series, but other cool stuff, old Yankee stories, little Yankee history, little side notes, all cool stuff, exclusive to you podcast subscribers. So make sure you subscribe. So the series against the Mets itself was, not much to be proud of. I guess the only good thing is we finally got a win from Rondon under his belt. And I also got to talk about the YouTube channel as well. Just mainly because the latest episode there, I kind of mentioned that Rondon needs to throw a good game in this one, just with all the stuff that's gone on. Having a couple of bad starts, the past few starts, and of course had that incident out in Los Angeles with blowing kisses to the crowd. It's like, with all that garbage, this start now at home against the New York Mets in front of the home Yankee fans there, you better throw a good game, or it could have gotten ugly fast, but luckily he did step up. I'm not saying it was the greatest. It was kind of one of those gritty, gutty performance types. Only gave up one run, pitched into the sixth inning. He wanted to go longer, but Boone just said he made his decision there. One run, not perfect. Did get three walks with 4 strikeouts. Got a big double play in one instant when the Mets were threatening a little bit. So again, he gutted it out, pitched well. Pitched with some fire out there. Hit Jeff McNeil with a fastball to the back there, and McNeil didn't like it, kind of threw the helmet, but supposedly they all ironed it out. But he was a little fiery up there, so, good just to see that performance. And again, let's just see if he takes that moving forward. And again, the Yankees are going to need that, just with the uncertainty of, we're not even sure when we're going to get Nestor Cortez back. So, obviously, Rendon stepping up there and kind of just being someone with a long Cole who's, again, having a terrific season. Again, it's all the more better for the rest of the starting rotation. As for the first game there, the Yankees just flat out just had nothing. I can't really put it on Herman too much. Again, we know the story with the Yankees and Verlander. They can never touch him, so you're not shocked. Now, this wasn't like the vintage Verlander who was going like 7 or 8 innings and striking out 12. But this was kind of maybe 1B of that. Pitched 6 innings up there. But this game was kind of over early. The Mets kind of had a dunker RBI early on. But the big blow would be a 3-run home run by Pete Alonso. At that point, putting the Mets up 4-0. Really, at that point, the game was over. And then Alonso would hit another game later on. Again, not the sharpest start by Herman, but I just think it was just more, if the Yankees going to get to Verlander at all, which they probably weren't, I don't think it makes us different anyway. And the Yankees eventually would fall 9-3 in this game. And if you just combine the fact that, and even the second game, they won great wowee. And that game wasn't really, the offense was really nothing spectacular. I guess this, it was just finally good to see Beta, who's kind of been quiet lately since he's coming off the IL, have a good game with 3 hits. And in the second inning there, scored on a sacrifice fly. Kind of fluffed, didn't really hit the ball. I mean, it was kind of in shallow right there. So when you have a right fielder coming in on a fly ball like that, usually just with the momentum of the right fielder coming in like that, he's going to catch the ball and throw it in hard to at home. And it's really hard to score off that. But you got to give credit to Bader. He took off just the right time and just got his hand in there to score the Yankees' second run of the game. First run was a fielder's choice by Peraza, a little chop at the third there. So again, the offense, and then Volpe later on with an RBI single up the middle that scored Bader as well. Again, so it wasn't like an offensive explosion. Just kind of you got a little dinking and dunking hits there, and some good heads up base running by Beta. But it's not like something you feel good about. But again, the good part is that Rodon finally got a win under his belt, as a New York Yankee. It's kind of been waiting half a season for him. And same thing with opposing pitcher Jose Quintana for the Mets there. Again, he's pretty much missed the entire first half there. And the Yankees, again, didn't beat him up. Just kind of scratched a few runs. And this with Rendon and the Yankee bullpen. And, of course, Holmes closing it out in the ninth, able to seal the win there. So, again, you split 1-1. Again, I hate these 2 games. It does not feel like a series at all. I just rather them go back to 3 games. And if it's just once a year at one team's ballpark, I'm fine with that. I hate these 2-2. It's like, well, we got fans at each side. And this is all just a money grab. You know what it is. Obviously, even if both teams are not doing too well, you can have sellout crowds. And they're like 46,000 both games there. So it's to make the revenue. We all know that. But you don't really feel like you won or lost anything with these 2-game series. It's just kind of dumb. Now, if you want to just do like maybe 3 games, how it originally was, where it's 3 games at Citi Field and it's 3 games at Yankee Stadium, means alternate, flip year to year, that's fine. Or if you want to have two 3-game series, so 3 games at Citi Field and 3 games in the Bronx, at least you can feel like you won or lost something, because but if you just kind of go 4, it's just kind of a waste. It just lays there. It just feels like exhibition games. So not really satisfying. And if you're a Yankee fan, it's sort of like, you got nothing to win and a lot to lose. If you beat the Mets, it's wow, it's the Mets. You're supposed to beat them. But if you lose, like, we beat you. Now, if you flip it on the other way, the Met fans, if they get the win, it's like their World Series. Oh my God, it's great. And if they lose, like, well, we're the Mets. We always lose, so no big deal. So you always feel like if you're a Yankee fan, you're kind of at a disadvantage of this one. You just kind of hope to get it out of the way, and fine, it's gone now. So the Yankees can move on and look at bigger things. Look now at the Baltimore Orioles and getting Judge back. And, you look at the standings, and yes, the Yankees are in last place, 5th place, but crazy enough, they have been creeping up a little bit now, only 8 games back. So, yes, you're in the last place, but, 8 games back with about 2 months left to go is not insurmountable to come back with. Actually, in fact, now you're getting Judge. And again, the Yankees in Baltimore, not really exactly running away with them, and they're having a good season. But even like, Tampa yesterday, they lose to the Miami Marlins 7-1. I mean, so, they may, at some point, maybe they end up kicking themselves as not really, taking this AL East away, being up like 12 or 15 games, but 8 games is not insurmountable. In fact, with the fact that the Yankees still have a lot of head-to-head games left to the remainder of the season with both Baltimore and Tampa just coming around the corner really soon. So, again, the Yankees do have the opportunity to right themselves, but still need more from this offense, but certainly get a shot in the arm with Judge. And in the first game, didn't really cover this much on the podcast, but did more in the YouTube episode, the latest YouTube episode, if you want to go check it out. Getting Pettit back, now he's a special advisor to the team, so in the first game that he did throw out the ceremony on the first pitch. Didn't really inspire the team, they lose 9-3, but yes, Pettit back now as an advisor for the Yankees, and supposedly Nick Swisher as well, even though he's not really on the field much or on the bench much. And they said with Pettit, he's just going to be, depending on his schedule, he'll travel to teams sometimes he'll be on the road there. And again, I don't know what he's really advising, but I guess just try to, it kind of, I think, undercuts Matt Blake a little bit as the pitching coach. So, again, Pettit has a wealth of knowledge. He's a former Yankee. He knows the deal. He knows the grind. He knows the fans, what it takes to, make it in the postseason there. So, sure. I mean, it's helpful, but this is kind of one of these silly things. Like, I don't know. I think this is more gimmicky, sort of like, all right, we're not going to bring any big players in here, any big names. So here's a little something cookie we'll throw to the fans so they stop yelling and complaining. So that's just my 2 cents on it. And talking about trades, not that it was ever going to happen anyway, but it looks like Ohtani definitely not coming to the Yankees, but not going anywhere. It looks like the Angels have committed to keeping him for the remainder of the season. They're kind of in the huntish of the wild card there. So you kind of say, well, it does make sense a little bit, but also if they were to trade him, they would get a boatload, a mega load of prospects, to set the Angels up for, the near term as well as the long term of just the hole that he could bring in. The Angels are shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. And it doesn't seem like Ohtani really wants to be with the Angels long term. So you just have this guy here where, all right, you're going to take a one and done playoff run in there. And then after that, you're probably going to lose the guy to free agency. So it actually benefits the Yankees because if they could stay in there, again, they're going to be competing against teams like Texas and Houston. If the Angels are a better team, they're playing Houston and they're playing Texas head on, that benefits the Yankees in terms of, let's see where all the standings and wild card spots shake out. So in a way, it's a little good news for the Yankees. And also the fact that, you went on someone like Ohtani. Again, I can't see him come to any of the American League teams. Maybe Seattle, like some sort of Ichiro connection there. And plus, a lot of Japanese tourists actually come from Japan, go to Seattle just because, the closeness, obviously, in Washington there, but also, just their memories, their fondness of Ichiro back in the day. So that could be only the American League team I could see him go to. But other than that, I don't think he would come to like the Rays or the Orioles or anything. So it's not something that the Yankees had to worry about. But Mr. Ohtani will be staying with the Angels for the rest of the season. Mixed feeling how you were. I think it's a bad move by them because I just don't think, even if they get a shot for playoffs, I just don't see them going far. But they do get a lot of money from Ohtani. I mean, each of the starts, like just the revenue gate alone from people coming to see his starts is like a little over $1 million per start. Now, what does he have left? Maybe 8 starts to the season. So it's 8. You're kind of giving all that up for $8 million. Well, may have that, and then plus there might be other advertisements and other incentives wrapped around that where it's beneficial to have them in an Angels uniform and playing in their stadium for the rest of the season with the money you get from that, and maybe that's worth more than what a prospect could get from them. I don't know, but again, bad call by that. So that's the episode. You're just happy to have Judge back and not really proud of the way the Subway Series shook out. Nothing really great from the offense there. You had the Mets come in, held your ground there, 1-1. Okay, whatever, you move on. But the big news, getting Judge back. Hopefully, he can play with his toe. He's going to pretty much be a DH pretty much the whole time. They're not going to put him out in the field at all there. Probably takes away some DH time from Stanton and probably takes some DH time from DJ when they want to give DJ a blow once in a while and just have his bat in there. We'll just see how it goes from there. And then, 8 games back. And just got to hope this team really finds a stride, gets hot, and play well the second half of the season. You get hot at the right time. And you have that hotness going into a playoff. It always seems to happen against the Yankees. It's always that hot team that's taking on the Yankees and knocks the Yankees out. So maybe this time the Yankees can be the hot team and knock a team like the Rays out that's unexpected. So catch you on the next one.